On a quiet highway, drivers keep reporting the same thing. A sudden fog, a woman standing in the road, and the unmistakable feeling that they've just hit someone. But when they step out of their cars to check, there's never anyone there. The highway doesn't look unusual during the day. It's long, isolated, barely lit at night. The kind of road people use when they are in a hurry, or when they don't know the stories. Locals avoid it after midnight, not because of crime, but because of something far more unsettling. For years, reports have come in from drivers who all describe the exact same experience. Different people, different nights, but the same sequence of events, and it always begins the same way, with fog. According to scattered reports, it started with a single accident. A woman was seen walking along the highway late at night. No one knows where she came from, no one knows where she was going. But one thing is certain, she was struck by a speeding vehicle. Witnesses never came forward, the driver never stopped, and when authorities searched the area, they found nothing. No body, no blood, no signs of impact. It was as if the woman had never been there at all. The case was quietly closed, but that wasn't the end of it. It was the beginning. The first call came weeks later. A driver reported hitting someone in the exact same area. He sounded panicked, certain. He insisted there had been a person in front of his car. But when the officers arrived at the scene, they found him alone, shaken, confused, and surrounded by nothing but empty road. Nobody, no damage to the vehicle, no evidence. At the time, it was dismissed as stress or imagination until the next call came in, and then another, and another. Over time, a pattern began to form. Every report happened late at night, usually between 1:30 and 3 a.m. Every driver described the same sudden drop in visibility, a dense fog that appeared without warning, too fast to be natural, too thick to see through. And then, a figure, standing in the road, not moving, not reacting, barely visible through the haze. The drivers would slam their brakes, but it was always too late. They would feel it, the impact, heavy, real, unmistakable. But when they stepped out to check, there was never anything there. Some reports included details that made the situation even more disturbing. One driver claimed he heard something after the impact, a faint dragging sound, as if something had been pulled along the side of his car. Another said the fog didn't lift immediately, that it lingered, as if it was waiting. A truck driver described seeing a shape in his side mirror, standing behind his vehicle, long after the road should have been empty. Individually, the stories sounded unreliable, but together, they were impossible to ignore. Then came the report that changed everything. The driver managed to stop in time. He had been traveling slower than most, and when the fog appeared, he reacted immediately, braking hard before reaching the figure ahead. For a brief moment, the fog thinned, just enough, and for the first time, someone saw her clearly. A woman standing in the center of the road, her posture unnatural, her limbs slightly misaligned as if something had broken them and left them that way. Her skin pale, almost colorless, her expression empty. Not pain, not fear, just absence. She wasn't looking at the car, she wasn't reacting to it. She simply stood there, as if frozen in time. Then slowly, her head tilted, and she stepped forward. The driver closed his eyes expecting impact, but when he opened them again, she was gone, and the road was empty. By this point, the reports could no longer be ignored. Authorities increased patrols in the area, but officers never experienced anything unusual themselves. No fog, no figure, no incidents, so a different approach was taken. A psychic was brought in to examine the location, late at night, at the exact time the sightings were most common. She stood alone on the highway, waiting, For a long time, nothing happened. Then, the temperature dropped. The air became heavy, and the fog appeared. Just as described, thick, sudden, unnatural. According to our account, the presence wasn't violent. It wasn't haunting. It wasn't even aware in the way people expect. It was repeating something, reliving a moment, over and over again. A final second that never ended. A body that was never found. A death that was never acknowledged. She described it as a loop, not a spirit seeking revenge, but one trapped in the exact moment it was lost. Today, the highway is still open. Cars still pass through it every night, and the reports never completely stopped. Most people who know the story avoid the road after midnight, but some still take their risk because they think it's a story, just fog, just imagination, until they see her standing in the road waiting. For a brief moment just before the impact, they realize something unsettling. She isn't moving out of the way because she never did.